is quite a fast road, national speed limit, and you've got the power just to whip straight past those cars, which is nice. So far so good on the silence. One thing it has got is a M4's top speed of 62 mile an hour. Like here, it's plenty fast enough for that. And this one, it handles really well as well. It's got the battery low down on this, which gives you a good weight distribution, better centre of gravity, and it means it does handle some of the electric things where the battery's higher up in the frame. It can feel a little bit wallowy, but not at all on this. It's a bit like riding a sports scooter really. I'm in sports mode at the minute. It's got 3 modes: Sport, City and Eco. For this sort of journey, Sports is great. You know you're going to get there and back. You've got 80 mile range, although it's only got 37 in Sport. If you change it to City, it goes up to 47. Eco, 62 mile. So I'll drop it back into Sport. Changed it on the mode button there on the right hand thumb. It's awesome. The other 2 modes just dumb the power down, save you some battery life, make it a little bit less snappy in traffic in city mode, which is probably what you want really, because this thing will do 0 to 30 in about 3.9 seconds, meaning you can pretty much outrun anything on the road, or anything you're likely to come across on your way to work, I would have thought. It's also connected to a silence dedicated app, gives you all your statistics. Flick through that info screen. At the minute we've got battery condition, which is 72%, how many miles you got in each mode, speed you're going at, the odometer, flick that around, temperature of the battery, currently 73 degrees, trip distance, total mileage. I think that's about it, but it's enough. And plus you've got all your stuff on your app as well. A scooter like this really is something that puts cat amongst the pigeons for anyone, especially, I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody of not wanting an electric scooter due to range and performance, but this really is pretty wicked. Potentially do Nottingham and back a couple of times in sport mode without recharging it. Stick it in city mode, probably do 3 days, into eco mode, perhaps 4. Come on cars, you're getting in my way. Rapid. The brakes are phenomenal. That's not easy to say, is it? The brakes are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Really good the brakes are. Got link brakes rather than ABS, but it's got a front disc and rear disc as well, which is quite unusual really on a lot of electric scooters. They tend to go for a drum rear, so it's been specced up a bit, and it really could stop on a sixpence. I don't think you get sixpences anymore though. Maybe a pound coin. Just going to stick it into city mode. Now we're actually in the city. It's worth noting that the seat height on this is fairly high. I'm 5'10", I can just put my feet flat on the floor. If you're like 5'6" or something, you might struggle. Let's see how it pulls away a minute in city mode. Still beats the cars away easy enough. So with the brakes you've got front and rear, obviously. The left hand lever, which is your rear brake, that operates front and back. So that's your combined braking. The front lever on the right hand side, that operates the front brake. Also gives you some regenerative braking. You want to try saying that? Also gives you some regenerative braking, which puts a bit of power back into the battery. If you listen really carefully on the video, you're listening. Can you hear that? Listen a bit harder. Can you hear that? No? Well, that's a sound of silence, isn't it? One important thing to note about silence is that they're actually a European company based in Spain and made in Spain. Made in Europe, obviously, keeps your carbon footprint down a little bit, better than coming from China or somewhere. So that should impress a few eco-warriors. Let's say, as a lifelong petrol head and rider of everything that's not really good for the environment. This is probably the best electric scooter I've ridden, certainly the best production electric scooter I've ridden. It's got a few good points to it. Range is one, speed is another, ease of battery removal and changing over. If you don't live or work near a power point, you can just wheel it in. So even if you're not a particularly strong person, you can still wheel it in just like a trolley of shopping really. It's got good storage, room for 2 helmets under the seat. Rides really nicely. The handling's really good. Brakes are fantastic. The price isn't bad. Getting this for less than the price of a Vespa Electrica 50cc equivalent, and this is a 125. Obviously you need a 125 learner license or full license to ride this, but there is also a 50cc equivalent version which we'll be trying next. But to be honest with you, if it was me, depending on my journey, if I've got a decent journey to town or to work, then I'd go for the 125 equivalent and just take a CVT. It's only 1 day for a CVT test, and it means you can ride something like this. 50cc equivalent, if you're 16, yeah, it's alright. I prefer a little bit more speed. It's certainly safer with a bit more speed. Gets you out of trouble. Don't think we'll have any trouble beating any of these off the lights. Watch this baby in a minute. Bye cars. Silence is golden, golden. I'm not quite sure the words for that bit.